Hello, this is Noel Hart, Teacher Development Specialist from the Professional Learning Center, and today I want to go over some basics of Zoom and what we can do with Zoom in our classroom. So we know that Zoom is going to be a really good tool for creating virtual learning assignments and for doing virtual learning. So how do we start off with Zoom? Well, first thing that we want to know is that we will have a meetings tab when we go into Zoom, and we want to schedule a meeting for our students. So let's go through that now. So in this meeting, I'm going to say this is my class A session, and then I'm going to give a date for this. So I want this to start at 9:30 on that time. Now, you can open this up at any time you want, but just letting you know that's where it will show up on the calendar for your students. Of course, my duration, I want it to be, let's say an hour, but of course I can go beyond an hour. So I don't have to have that. Again, this is what's going to be showing up on my calendar. And I schedule this for myself. Now, I can do a passcode, which I would advise you to do. You probably don't want to do a waiting room because that means you're going to have to let in everybody, but just in case you're afraid that students are letting them, they're sending out this invite to all their other friends, you might want to do a waiting room so that way you know who's coming in and who's not. But in case you don't want to, it depends. So a passcode for sure, you have to have a passcode or you have to have a waiting room. And these are going to be mandatory in I think September for Zoom anyway. So the video, you probably want it on the host, but you don't have to, but I would advise you to have it, but your participants, I would have it off. And of course, audio, you'll want the computer audio. And then here's what I would do. I would have this off so they can't be on there without you being on there, which is going to be very important so that you know they're not doing anything wrong. So don't click that one. I would definitely click mute participants so when they come in, they're not immediately on there. I would have, we'll talk about breakout rooms and how to pre-assign them. We'll discuss that. And then I would definitely do this, record the meeting automatically, and we'll show what to do on the local computer. Okay? So once I'm done with that, I'm going to save that. And then I like to have this on the Google Classroom. And I'm going to add it to my Google Classroom. I mean, on my Google Calendar, not Google Classroom, but Google Calendar. Okay. And then I'm going to save that. So there it is for me. I'm ready to go. Okay. So let's look and see what else that I can do. So here's my copy invitation. I want to take this invitation and I want to just copy this, and I actually want to put it in my classroom. So here's a classroom that I have for my candidates. And I just want to, create this as a maybe assignment or as material. And this is the virtual learning session for 7:31. And then I'm just going to, in the instructions, put that in there, and then I'm going to assign that. So then when they go in there, they can click on that. And then because you have the passcode with them, they'll actually just be able to open it up. And they'll immediately come on because the passcode was in the invitation that you sent. If they are having a problem, just tell them to go back and put in the passcode. Okay? So that's how that will work for the first part. So that's how I would do it. I would just put it on my calendar and then take it off my calendar. Now, as you can see here, because I've said set up recording, it already made a recording of my session. Where do I find that recording? I'm going to find it actually in my PC and in my documents. So PC and then documents, and you will see that Zoom right here has these recordings, and it gives you the title of what your recording was. And so when I click on it, there is my Zoom recording. So it's in the document section on my computer, which is great because we'll talk a little bit later about how we can use that to upload back into the classroom or back on YouTube, and how we can also edit those. Okay. So those are all things that we can do in the Zoom session.